Well, the first thing that comes to me is that I'm Caro, and I'm a bit of a slow soul, and I can just feel that being in my own body rhythm being really good for me, really, all right, I can settle, I feel very settled. One of the first things, the next thing that kind of comes up for me is that I'm a Celt. And I think that feels like a very profound thing to me, just in placing me in the universe almost, as somebody who's a part of the ancestors of like I'm a follow-on from ancestors that feel very ancient, so I have a sense of ancientness, and then a kind of an awareness of an ongoingness after me. So I feel like a small but sort of unique dot in the whole scheme of things, really. And I think I'm somebody who now in my life I don't have any trouble with paradox, and I feel very grateful for that. I'm very in my being, I feel very safe and held and loved and graced in the world. And those are kind of words that have come to me through just sitting and praying or meditating, or just knowing that, just having that embodied sense of well, it doesn't really matter what happens. I don't mean I'm safe from bad things might happen to me, or I will get ill, or I am getting older, or I might fall over or whatever. But it's more that because I'm profoundly safe, at an essence safe and held. So then whatever happens, and it will be fine, and I'll find a way through it. So so there's something about feeling very blessed in the world, and really deeply grateful. So the words that come when you ask me that question about what does it mean to be a Celt are things like poetry and music and language and landscape. So maybe it's something about belonging. Do you know, that's what it is. It's something about there's something of my familiar in it. There's something that's familiar to my bones that gives me some kind of sense of belonging or connectedness, or not circles but spirals. And I think I think also in my life I've kind of, like I've touched on things, and then what I think is we come back to the same issue, like I come back to the same thing, but I'm in a different place, so I'm in a different relationship with it. And, in my younger life I studied theology, and then I kind of veered off to do other things, and it feels like having become Quaker, it's like I'm revisiting that whole thing about God and prayer, and which is a word I wouldn't have used 2 years ago, but I would freely use now. I would say to people I do spend time every day in prayer, or most days. So there's something about coming back to myself, I think, that I think I'm also someone who I think it's connected to being a sort of slow soul, that I like, and I think needs probably the right word. I need a fair amount of space in my life. And I really value that I have that now. And I think I'm kind of in a phase where I'm kind of discovering more about my own internal rhythm and my, because I think I was taught to hurry through life, and to speed up, and even I think even as a kid I can remember being hurried along the street when actually I don't think I felt totally safe, because I couldn't see as well as fully sighted people, so it was, I don't know that I experienced a kind of embodied safety in that. So I think that's how come I feel safer in the world, because I let myself be more held now. And I think with being easier in my own pace, one of the things I really value about Quakerism is that sense of waiting, and really waiting, and then waiting some more, and really suits me most of the time, except when I get totally impatient. I think I'll get on with it. I've always been a bit of a seeker, and so I do find that an important, like I need people in my life that I can have those conversations with, and I like that I seem to sometimes have a facility to have helpful conversations with other people that are helpful for them, or whatever. So being part of my community is important. I think I'm seeking my own unfolding truth, and which for me is the same as becoming more of myself, like more fully myself. and that's the other bit of it. There's also, I think I am seeking that thing of attending to what love requires of me, which is a phrase that I love it, that it doesn't say ask what love requires of you, which I think sometimes people say it is. It's attend to what love requires of you, which for me has a double thing. It's like attending means waiting to know, but also if I attend to something, I give it my full attention, and it's, you know, so it's both the it's the both and. It's the kind of receptivity and the active waiting and being open, and then there's the laser, you know, the bit of the focused bit. So it's like spaciousness and like an arrow. If this is what it requires of you, this is what you must do. And it's the action from. And I think I'm a bit of a curious, nosy cow, you know. So it's like I'm also wanting to seek other. I think I'm a curious forensic investigator. I think that's what I can be at times. And it also, I also find it quite risky, because I think it can be very risky to speak the truth as I see it now, you know, like to speak a truth, or to say, to even speak what becomes obvious to me. You know, that's what I am. I'm somebody who will, who's interested in naming the obvious. So I think I bring aspects of my curiosity to my own truth and life, and sometimes to other people's, and sometimes it has meant that I've said things to people that other people won't say, or that feel very risky to say. But it's a bit like George Fox and William Penn and the sword. It's a bit like, once I see it, I can do no other. You know, it's like, even when it scares me, somehow I can find it's something. It would be worse not to say it than to say it, in terms of living with my own truth, or living. So I think that's what I'm seeking, that sense of both being forensic about uncovering my own truth, and in relationship living truthfully. You know, I think sometimes as Quakers we kind of shy away from the old Quaker thing about plain speaking, you know, that sense of we might end up being nice to each other rather than truthful. So that's what I'm seeking. Didn't realise it in quite that way till I've been having this conversation.